Thanks very much, everyone. We are ready now for pre-game before the Reserves Grand Final. And as we've been doing over the 2 weeks of Grand Finals in the NTFA, we are very pleased to welcome a legend from each club competing in the Grand Final. So I'd like you to please join with me and welcome onto UTAS Stadium with the Premiership Cup for the Reserves from South Launceston, Adam Morrison, and from the Longford Football Club, Brendan Jones. Thanks, Adam. Thank you to Brendan. And I'd now like to introduce Vice President of the NTFA, Damien Jones, to come forward to perform the coin toss. And I'd like to welcome the captains into the centre as well, please. Grayson Lester and Bradley Dodds. And also from Longford, Luke Pearton. So it's Longford's call. And it's heads, and Longford have won the toss, and they'll kick to the northern end in the first quarter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask you now, please, if you could be upstanding for the Welcome to Country, featuring prominent Aboriginal advocate and NTFA member Graham Gardner, and with thanks to the Hawthorn Football Club, and this will be immediately followed by the Australian National Anthem.
Ligina Lutruwita. For thousands of years, Aborigines have remained connected to country. Our old people harvested the land, our warriors hunted a landscape shaped by traditional fire, and our women gathered resources to provide for their family group. Back then, we walked the many tracks across the northern Midlands that led us to the head of the Cunnamalooka Tamar River. Today, those tracks are lined by buildings, and the landscape, once adorned by trees and grassy plains, are fewer. Warranta Lumi. We are here. Our culture is alive.
Thanks very much, everyone. Good luck to South Launceston, good luck to Longford and our umpires.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to the University of Tasmania Stadium. My name's Rob Soward and I'm joined by Matthew Chatwin for what promises to be an absolutely fantastic game. The previously undefeated throughout the season Longford Tigers, top of the ladder, comprehensively defeated by their opponents for today, the South Launceston Bulldogs, in the second semi-final, regrouped in the preliminary final to get over a desperate Bridge North to be here today to force a showdown. Matthew, what a great game ahead of us.
Hard one to predict. Looking at the results here, they've played 3 times. Longford winners by 31 points, Longford winners by 37 points, and then South coming out at winners 50-odd points. So there hasn't been a close game between them, but they've shared the results every time they've played. You feel like on grand final day, though, there won't be a big margin between the two sides, but it's showed that when one team gets on top, they tend to win early in their previous encounters. So interesting to see how today's game goes.
It will be. And looking at the lineups, and we talked about this off air just before we started for the benefit of the listeners, there's a real mix today, and we've touched on this previously. Reserves games, you've got a great blend of experience, and both sides have that, but you've also got those young legs. And just getting a feel before the game, positive that people were talking up the South chances. They felt that those younger legs might help them today.
Yeah, so we were talking off air with the leadership group of South Launceston. We've got 2 co-captains, 22-year-olds, another vice-captain, a 21-year-old, and a vice-captain as a 20-year-old. You wouldn't see that too often at reserves level. So it goes to show that there's some high-quality footballers out there today that are still trying to make their mark in their careers, but are still very much on the way up, not on the way down. But there is still some very experienced heads out there with hundreds of games under their belt. And we spoke last week numerous times, Rob, that sometimes it just takes the mind to work a bit quicker than the body, and those players can shine out.
Absolutely, and there's plenty of those I'm sure we'll touch on today. We're getting ready to get things underway. Fantastic crowd here today. Community football at its best. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and we're almost underway in the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. The umpire bounces the ball. Sam Graham is going to pull that one back. We talk about veteran Sam Graham's been terrific over his career. That didn't go real high, that bounce. I think he's going to ball it up this time. So the ruckman will do battle, and Graham does it again as he's done so often through his career. Longford with a takeaway. Ball bobbling around in the centre. It's like Buller. Quick kick forward for South Launceston, giving them the first look at it. It's punched forward, but the boundary line's the winner. It's Ben Haywood there, again an experienced player for South, not necessarily in age, but played some senior football, and will obviously be important to them today. The umpire throws it in. Ruckman do battle. This time it's the South Launceston ruckman that gets first hand on, and he's going to get their that first inside 50. Sam Graham, we've called him a couple of times already, goes back into the middle and finds Chug, who again, very experienced player with lots of senior experience, gives the Longford forwards first look at it, and that's a really, really nice juggling mark taken there. I think that lost his number. Was that his brother, I think?
I believe so, yes.
Chug to Chug. He goes deep into the goal square. And I think the umpire's picked out a mark there. He's paid that one to South Launceston. And that's a nice mark taken there by Nick Homan. Foot disposal let him down after that really, really nice mark. He's put that one out on the full, and that's going to come back with a bit of interest on it, I think, there. So both sides just feeling themselves out, Matthew.
It's the anti-commentator's curse. In my head, I was preparing to say he can be a bit dodgy by foot, Nick Homan, and he hasn't proved me wrong with his first touch. Does all the hard work, but sometimes the finishing product isn't always there.
Well, Longford's going to get their first shot on goal here as they approach. It's going to bounce, land in the square. Players fly. South Launceston defence swoops. Kicks it out. Ball stays in bounds and it's gathered up there by Matthew Lee. Kicks up towards the wing position. Could have been holding the ball. I think the umpire's just going to say he's very lucky there. Very, very lucky there indeed, Ben Haywood. Didn't quite take possession, so the umpire giving him the benefit of the doubt. And that was a really, really good tackle there from Daniel Bennett. Throw in, beats everyone. Over the back, socket off the ground there by Tom Cox. Well, it could be holding the ball, but no. All Longford at the moment really trying to keep it moving through the agency of Rocky Barron. South defence under huge pressure, but nice work there. Jack Lewis kicking the ball back into the centre of the ground. Ball doesn't sit too well. Longford's going to send it back in again. And comedy of errors at the moment. He's kicked it to his South Launceston opponent. Lewis butters up, fumbles, butters up, lost it. Ball on the ground in dispute. Players really trying to pick it up, probably indicating the ball's a bit slippery. The UTAS surface in fantastic condition, but it's been a little bit of a rain around earlier, Matthew, which might be contributing to that fumbly nature.
You can see both teams want to be aggressive when they get the footy, though. They're trying to switch it. They're trying to take on attacking kicks, which you really like to see.
Brad Keegan's taken that one out of the air, but he's tackled beautifully, and free kick there to Longford. Scrubby old kick, but it's going to fall fortuitously into the arms of Baden Alexander. So, yeah, funny old kick off the boot, as the viewers will see. There's the free kick for holding the ball. Ball pumped in by Daniel Bennett, and yeah, fortuitously into the arms of Alexander, who's going to line up from around about 30 metres out straight in front. No angle at all. Makes the umpire work a little, but that's the first goal for the Tigers. 1 goal straight 6. South Launceston yet to score, Matthew, and be interesting to see if that doesn't just calm the nerves a little.
He's played a lot of good senior football, Baden Alexander, for the Longford Footy Club, and his strength's always been his ability to read the footy. So even though that kick's certainly not probably how they drew that plan up, you can see as a forward playing in front, he's reacted quickest, he's got there and he's taken the mark, and that umpire did not move a step there, so that's gone straight over the hat.
Just the start the Tigers wanted after that shock second semi-final defeat. Ball's back in the middle of the ground. Sam Graham, the Longford ruckman, been very busy early and goes up and does battle again with Keegan. Probably a draw that time. No advantage really to either side there. South Launceston move it forward. Ball really not sitting there for the Longford player. South have got the numbers around it to try and come away with it, but that Longford pressure certainly holding it up. Captain Luke Pearton getting up there. Great pressure around the footy there from the Tigers, stopping South getting away with it. Keegan, nice tap down to Haywood. Back to Keegan. He hacks out inside 50, and that's a really, really nice mark under a lot of pressure from, I think that's Ben Haywood. Called him a couple of times today, Matthew.
I hope I don't insult him, but he doesn't have the same length he does in his legs anymore as he gets towards the latter years of his career, so this will be right on his range. Right on. He's going to
kick it from straight in front, about 40 metres when he lets it go. And I think you've read the play beautifully there, Matthew, because while the distance was there, the accuracy wasn't. South Launceston on the board, first behind for them, trailing Longford 1 goal straight 6.
Got a bit of a kick-up zone, kick-in zone set up here, South, so it'll be interesting to see if that one's worked. First play of the game.
Tom Cox, when we talk about veterans, the vice-captain. Long kick out to the half, between half-back and wing, and that the boundary line's going to win there. So Tom Cox is certainly a player with a lot of senior experience, and vice-captain today, and will obviously be very important to the Tigers in the back line. Boundary umpire throws it in between wing and half-back. Graham probably first hand on. Tigers are taking it away. Ball bobbling around. South Launceston mop it up. A lot of pressure from the Tigers around the footy, keeping the ball moving forward at all costs. Chug with his head over it. Looks like Pearton with his head over it. Met solidly there. Ball's going to bobble around inside 50. Tigers forwards get another look at it. Looks like Dakin there battling it in front of him. Ducks the head, might be against him. Umpire says no. Great pressure there. The pressure's terrific, Matthew, so far around the ball from both sides.
You can see what clean disposal does there, though. A couple of nice handballs from Longford, and they get it out to space, and they've got their running game going.
South with the numbers here, trying to clear. Longford hand in there from Lewis. Really nice tackle. Dropped by the South Launceston player. Umpire's letting it go. Umpire letting it go. That's it's great to see, not being over umpired. Umpires have been terrific today in the previous 2 games, so very important job.
Blood rule being called here, Lasky, with some blood coming from somewhere, I can't see where, so we've just got to pause in play while he goes off and Furley comes on.
Graham, nice tap. South Launceston have got the numbers there through the agency of Bennett. Hacks that forward, but only as far as Tom Dwyer. Dwyer feeds that back in. Captain Luke Pearton heads for home. South have got the numbers, dropped the mark though, probably should have taken that. Great pressure there from Chug. That's a terrific tackle. Ball spills. Longford trying to find something there after regathering possession. Ball heading back inside 50. I think he might have just stepped over the boundary line there. So pressure terrific from both sides so far, Matthew. It's certainly what both coaches would want.
And for the viewers at home, if there's any breeze out there, it's certainly pushing towards that far side of the ground. So don't be surprised if play does get stuck on that side of the ground at times. It might be hard to get it over to this near side, but there's certainly not a massive wind out there today.
Umpire throws it in. Ruckman do battle. Tepper versus Chug's caught there. That's holding the ball. Tepper versus Sam Graham. It's a really, really nice tackle there. And Bennett's going to take the relieving free kick. Geordie Bennett. Nice little chip.
Game 100 for the club today for Geordie Bennett. Just a little mention there.
Toby Lucas heads it up to Denham. I think it's going to be a free kick there to Denham. Ball on the wing position. Taken again by Jordan Bennett. Player with state league experience. Nice kick there. Aaron Viney butters up. We talk about experience. Not his best work off the boot though. Viney's a classic example of what we talked about before the game, Matthew. Premiership winning assistant coach last week coaching the women, but has won every accolade at senior level. Representative player, now playing into the reserves here at South.
And it's almost an interesting subplot out of today's reserves match-up. And you've got South going for their third premiership from 3 grand finals with the women and the unders, whereas Longford, the reserves, trying to start a winning trend for their seniors later on today.
Absolutely. Ball battling the boundary line there, but South managed to keep that in play. Back to Bennett. He's been really good early. Geordie Bennett. High kick. It's going to be falling straight into the arms of Will Edmonds. Probably unlucky not to get in that senior side today, Will Edmonds. Very talented player and will be very important to the Tigers in this division, that's for sure. Not his best kick though. South have got the numbers and that's heading back inside 50 to give their forwards a look. Ball drops what he should have taken. Longford defenders scrambling to try and get that out there. It was Bull back out towards Edmonds, and the boundary line's the winner there. South Launceston forward dropping what he should have taken there, and I think that was Brad Keegan. He's had a bit of time in the ruck, and certainly important to them resting in that forward line as well. Umpire throws it in. Keegan back into the ruck against Graham. Double tap from Graham. No clean takeaway as yet. Longford through Pearton. Graham has put that one out on the full, and that's going to be putting his defence under pressure. Just threw that one on the boot, Sam Graham, and finding the boundary line. So South are going to have a look at it. Toby Lucas relieving free kick there. Half forward position for South. Lucas drives it inside 50. Players fly, and that's a fantastic mark taken there by Matthew Lee. Front of the pack. Ball fell short, and Lee read that one really, really well, Matthew.
He's a great player, Matty Lee. He won the under-18 goal kicking last year and stepped up. Started the year in the seniors for South Launceston, but unfortunately got injured. I think he had a badly broken arm and has only just really come back to playing footy, so he probably didn't get the shot at playing senior footy that he would like this year, but running around in the reserves today and hoping to have an impact here early.
He's on a slight angle. He's going to kick this from about 40 metres. Awkward looking kick. Awkward looking kick.
I think they've deemed it touched by the man on the mark, because you did say it was awkward and it looked funny. Something didn't look right, so I reckon that is the correct decision.
You probably disguised that. You probably called that one as it flew like a wound to duck that one. It did hit something, that's for sure. Good call there from the umpire. Relieving free kick there for Longford through Tom Cox. Drives it long. Nice mark taken there by Pearton. The skipper, he's been very busy early, Luke Pearton. Important player for the Tigers. Finds his teammate on the wing, wanted to play on. He's going to shift the ball back inboard there. All alone there, taken by Ben Murfitt. Murfitt moves it on quickly. Mark there to Barron, Rocky Barron. Heads inside 50 for the Tigers. Could have been a free kick and is going to be. Sam Chugg was caught out of position there, caught behind, and he's knocked the defender over, and he's given away the free kick. Relieving free kick taken there by Ben Lasky. Oh, he's just kept that one in, Lasky. Sam Lucas taking the mark just on the paint, I'd say. Goes back inboard. South trying to move it out of defence. Oh, that's a really poor kick. Chopped off there by Tom Cox. Goes back into the middle. Pearton. He's missed the target in Chug. South will mop it up. Oh, scrambly play back there. South need a bit of composure through Bennett. Tregurtha moves it on quickly. Contest. Oh, fantastic mark taken there by Brad Dodds. Fords have got a look at it, and that's a really, really nice mark. Judged the flight beautifully there, Jonathan Lawrence. Jono Lawrence, an experienced player, former St Pat's premiership player in the schoolboys. Really, really read that well.
He is a prodigious kick, Jonathan Lawrence, but he also has a case of the yips from time to time. So his first shot is very important for him.
Great insight there, Matty. He's going to hit this one from just on 50. Struck it well, struck it really well. He struck it really well, and that's going to be the start his confidence wants as the South Launceston Bulldogs had their first for the day. They moved to 1-2-8. Longford 1 goal straight 6, and you mentioned that's going to be a great confidence booster for him, Matthew.
I've also played a lot of golf, and his golf game is very similar to Jono Lawrence. If he makes the first one, he gets hot. If he misses the first one, yips big time. So that's a great sign for him that his first one from outside 50 or on 50 when he's kicked, that'll do his confidence well to good.
Yeah, and that's critical, isn't it, for a forward, you know, to get that early look at it and to convert. So he's got the start he's wanted, and the Dogs are in front. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Ruckman do battle. This time it's South with first hand on through Keegan. Ball in dispute there. Barron, Chug. Little short kick to no one in particular, just to space. Going to take it away, the Dogs. It's a scrambly old kick. Ball's going to beat everyone except South. Butter up beautifully. Quick kick forward to the forward line. And that's a really, really nice mark taken again by Lawrence. So as you called, Matty, he's a confidence player, and he's obviously confidence is sky high after that first goal and leading his Longford opponent to the ball beautifully there.
I did say if he kicked the first he'd get hot, but it could be a reverse commentator's curse as well.
He struck that one well, but he's pushed it, and I was going to say it did swing back a little, but struck the timber, struck the woodwork. So 1-3-9 South Launceston leading Longford 1 goal straight 6.
Longford seem to be moving the footy nicely, but when they turn it over, South have hurt them on the rebound a couple of times, so they need to, and right on cue, be very assured by foot, because South are sweating on those turnovers.
You have been Nostradamus on that call, Matty. You have picked that like the proverbial. Great turnover, and Geordie Bennett heads home long from right on 50. Offline. I did hear a whistle. No, it's okay, it's all clear. I'm hearing whistles that aren't there. That's touched and gone through for a behind. So all South in the last few minutes, and that's an example of the pressure that they've been putting on. That just missed the target completely, and that's gone out of bounds. So a little bit rattled at the moment, the Tigers in defence, Matty.
When they've been clean and they've used their disposal, there's been a couple of times where they used the footy nicely. That last switch that they had where they come back through the corridor and open up the open side comes to mind. But when they've made the error, South have really made them pay. So it's that risk-reward with ball in hand decisions they'll have to make.
Calamaca's into the ruck now against Dodds. It's going to get a rerun on that one. Ruckman see that one over the boundary line. Half-forward line for South Launceston, just outside 50. 16.5 minutes gone, first quarter. Boundary umpire throws it in. Ackers versus Dodds replay of the last throw-in. Tigers looking for something here. Quick kick forward there from Bull. No one in particular. It's going to fall okay for South. Another inside 50 for them. Though I think the boundary line might be the winner here, and Will Edmonds very happy to see that over the boundary line for Longford.
So we're starting to see the impact of that wind where the play's getting stuck on the far side, and we can see off camera runners are going out and back trying to get players off because of the interchange box on the other side of the ground. So late in a quarter here, you want to make sure you got those fresh legs in the right spots.
Ackers and Dodds do battle. Quick hack kid forward there by the Tigers up towards the wing. Crashing the pack beautifully there was Alexander. Tigers are going to get another look at it heading forward. Deep out towards the boundary line. I'm not sure if that was just touched before it went over. Great pressure around the football there from Thurley. Boundary throw in between wing and half forward for Longford. Taken out of the air by Keegan, throws it on the boot for South, back towards the middle of the ground. Barron drops what he should have taken, butters up beautifully though, probably tackled without it. South have got the numbers here to move it away, and they do. Great run down tackle there. Thought he probably did enough to get it away, and he's asking the question of the umpire, but that's going to be a holding the ball free kick, and that's going to be taken there by Ben Murphy, rewarded for his chase down pressure. South Launceston probably a little unlucky there, Matty. He did get boot to ball.
He was certainly forward with his feet back to the umpire though, which with the new descent rule, got to be careful, because a 50 metre there is a really big penalty to give away. So make sure you keep your head in the game is really important for all players today.
Sammy Graham takes the mark, drives it along into the Tigers forward line. Pearton flying, ball on the ground. Sam Gray butters up again. South pressure around the footy through the agency of Keegan. I think that the boundary line's going to win that one. Brad Keegan, experienced player, key role for him to play today in the ruck, and obviously we've seen him at both ends of the ground. He's put the hand up, he's going to take the ruck throw in here.
Been an important player in some of their senior premierships, Brad Keegan, so will be an influential player you feel today in the reserves.
Boundary throw in just outside 50. Tigers, quick hack kick inside. That's not gone far enough. Sam Gray was caught there, lucky to get away with that one. Great pressure around the footy from both sides. Umpire says that's mine. He's going to ball that one up inside the 50. 19 minutes 30 gone. First quarter, South Launceston 1-4-10. Longford 1 goal straight 6. Tigers have got it inside their 50. Umpire will go again. Lots of bodies around the ball. Tom Cox wipes the... Well, there could be a blood rule there actually. No, the umpire hasn't seen that one. Lots of bodies around the footy. Ball bobbling around. Longford looking for some clean ball. Little chip forward, and that's a really terrific mark. Fantastic mark taken there by Sam Chugg. We talked about experienced players before the game. Sam Chugg and his brother Ben. A lot of senior footy, best and fairest at senior level. They're going to be really, really important for the Tigers today. And it's a terrific diving mark taken there by Sam Chugg. He's going to be kicking from straight in front from about 20 metres out. Let's loose. Oh dear. You would have put that one in the book, Matty, and that's a really bad miss for the Tigers.
It's a hard balance between kicking through it, whereas and sometimes players poke at it and they miss, but he's looked to kick that one 80 metres from 30 metres out and hooked it badly.
Sam Lucas relieves for the Bulldogs. It's taken on the wing. It's only gone as far there as Graham gone back inside. South numbers around the footy. They've dropped a lot of numbers back every time there. Back, it's going to come back. Nice mark taken there by Tom Dwyer for the Tigers.
Late in the quarter here, both teams seem to have midfielders just sitting behind the footy just to provide that defensive coverage, but it's making it hard to move the footy. That's where you can see Longford here having plenty of options out to chip around. But a turnover there, nicely broken up by, I can't see the name there, Lewis.
That's a really nice chase down tackle from the South Launceston player there in Matty Lee. He was busy up one end of the ground. Now he's equally as busy up the other. That's great pressure there, stopping that Longford forward attack. 21 minutes 30 gone in the first quarter. Ruckman do battle. Boundary line wins again. You really feel, Matty, that there's just a real arm wrestle at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, whenever one team's been clean from the stoppage, we've seen that one with a clean pick-up and handball to Ben Chugg before that led to a shot on goal. It's as soon as the pressure picks on and them hack kicks or fumbles come in play, that's when it seems like that real arm wrestle.
Lots of numbers around the footy as it's gone inside the Longford 50 here. The umpire said that's mine, and as Matty advised the viewers a little while ago, as midfielders are just dropping back, filling that space up for South. Jordan Bennett there directing traffic. Siren's going to win. So as we head into quarter time, South Launceston with the ascendancy, 1-4-10, leading Longford 1 goal straight 6. The goal scorer for South Launceston was Jonathan Lawrence, who kicked a really, really good goal and also found the post. And the goal scorer for Longford was Baden Alexander. So not much in them, Matty, as we head to the quarter time break. and be interesting to see what the coaches do at quarter time to just deal with the breezes you talked about, but also it's almost half back to half back at the moment, isn't it? That's where the play tends to be being played.
Yeah, both teams are trying to move the footy with intent. They're looking to use their foot skills to try and hit up targets, use the corridor. There's not a lot of just dump kicking down the line and contest to contest. So they're trying to play an exciting brand of game, but the pressure's causing a lot of errors. And at the moment, it seems like the team that makes the less errors is going to come out more successfully. So when they're executing it, they're moving the footy nicely, but unfortunately just the pressure of grand final day has got to a few players and caused some bad turnovers. So they'll be encouraging their players just to take a bit deep breath, make the right option by foot, and to clean up some skill mistakes so that they can get on top in the game.
Given that there has been it's been played between the arcs, it'll be interesting to see on this such a big ground what effect that'll have over the course of the game. And I know, as I said beforehand, just talking to some football people, they felt South were probably the better running team on this big ground, and I don't think our viewers or listeners also realise at times how big this ground is. It's almost like a circle, and I think prior to the opening of the new ground in WA, second biggest ground in Australia, bigger than the MCG, so it's certainly going to be a real test for the legs, that's for sure.
Yeah, and both teams have dangerous forward lines that have had a lot of space to work in. It just hasn't got there to them. So you feel like if they can get it from outside between the arcs and get it into those forwards, that those forwards will do their work.
Welcome back to the University of Tasmania Stadium for the start of the second quarter in the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final, South Launceston and Longford. I'm Rob Soward, and I'm joined by Matthew Chatwin. And quarter time, South Launceston 1-4-10, Longford 1-1-7. Matty, we were talking off air just about what needs to happen. You're on the magnet boards for both sides. What do you see happening?
Both teams or coaching groups, I feel, would be happy with what their teams are bringing defensively. Both have only conceded one goal. They've limited the opposition from moving the footy from end to end. They've caused turnovers. Their pressure's been good. But then conversely, you're disappointed that your side hasn't handled the pressure and moved the footy really, really nicely. So I think you're just encouraging them to keep taking the game on, to keep taking those kicks on. Just got to fix up the skill errors, which is hard to do from the sidelines, but you're just reinforcing that message to your players.
Absolutely. And be really interesting to see how it unfolds. Umpire holds the ball aloft and we're ready to get underway. Keegan and Graham. Graham, as he's done most of the day, a nice tap away, giving the Tigers first look at it. They're not going to come away. That's a great pressure tackle there. The pressure's been fantastic. Ball's gone inside 50. Whoa, he's going to call that. There's a nice mark though, taken away by the Tigers. Thrown on the boot. Thrown on the boot. And that's a fantastic goal. Fantastic goal there to Daniel Bennett, I think that was. All rushing to him. We were commenting the numbers are a little challenging to see at times. We'll have another look at that one. That's just gone sailing through.
I'm not sure who it was that caused the ball to come to ground, but sometimes as a forward your job's just to make sure that you don't get outmarked, and it looked like the South player had it, but he's caused a contest, the ball spilled free, and that brings the small forwards into play.
Alexander's fed that out, and that's just a terrific result for the Tigers. We're away again. Graham first hand on, ball bobbling through the centre, off the ground. Another inside 50 for Longford. That's the start that they wanted. Ball heads back inside, taken there. Ball hacked forward. South have got the numbers. Defenders spoil each other. Oh, great start of the Tigers. South just need to steady, and they do through the agency there of Lucas. I think something's happened after the ball's cleared the area. Bit of how's your father. I think that's played that downfield, have they? Ball game's continuing. They're behind the game. Seen shenanigans still continuing at the other end. Longford are going to clear it out. It's all happening. It's gone into open space. It's going to come back. Nice little chip kick there. And that's taken there by Sam Lucas. It's been happening at both ends of the ground. Lucas chips it forward. Play on there to Dodds. Drives it inside 50 for the Bulldogs. Trying to pull that goal back. Longford have got the numbers. South trying to get their hands on it. Longford player tackled without it. Will Edmonds thrown on the boot there. Bouncing around. It's not going to work for Akers. Aaron Viney tackled. Longford player gives it to another Longford player. I don't actually know if you're allowed to do that, but anyway, fortuitous there for Jordan Furley. He actually handed it to his teammate. The umpire's going to say, settle it down, guys, that's mine. Ball up deep inside the South Launceston 50. Graham. All bobbling around, lots of numbers around the footy. No clear takeaway. South Launceston player caught with the footy. Holding the ball, I would have said. Nick Denham kicks it off the ground. High tackle from Chugg. It's going to be a resultant free kick there to Grayson Lester, one of the South Launceston captains. So real scrambly play there, and just a lazy tackle, as you can see there. Lester moves it on quickly. Inside 50 in the direction of Viney. Punched away from him. Denham hacks it forward. Goes again. Handball back inside. Scrambly play. Picked up by Longford. Relieving free kick back into the centre of the ground. And that's fallen into the arms of a Longford player there. Don't quite see the number. Moves it on. South have got the numbers in defence to mop it up. Grayson Lester's got back by hand out to Tepper. Back towards the centre of the ground. Graham chops it off for the Tigers. Ball game being played at breakneck speed at the moment.
The boys will be happy for a stoppage here, I think. But at the same time, Sammy Graham is starting to have an influence on this match. So the last couple of centre clearances have been pure, as you see, with his tap work. So they need to start to fix, and again, on cue. And a downfield free kick. It's important to remember that both these sides competed last year in the grand final. So South and Longford went head to head, and Longford took the chocolates in 2021. So there's probably still some lingering feelings between the two sides, and we're starting to see a bit of that frustration being on show here between a few players that might have a little bit of history.
Yeah, absolutely. Now Connor Alexander's got the relieving free kick down the ground. Baden Alexander, I should say, got the relieving free kick down the ground. He's going to hit it from right on 50. Not quite the trip. Good result for the Tigers. It's going to be a boundary throw in for them. But as you called it, Matty, it's been a breakneck start to the quarter, and I don't know if you'd want that as a coach. You'd probably want just a bit more control in what's going on. A lot of mistakes in that breakneck sort of style. Deep in the Longford forward line. Barron was taken out of it. Chug's taken out of it. South Launceston players calling for holding the ball. Nick Denham's in there. Bit of push and shove. Nothing in it really. Chug's nominated to take the ruck for Longford. Takes it out of the air. Handballs to himself. South Launceston player caught high there. Doesn't sit for Barron. Keegan, take away. Lester, he's been busy this quarter. Back towards the middle of the ground. That's a really, really nice mark taken there by Matty Lee. Awkward kick. Longford should take that in defence. Playing on quickly. I don't know why you wouldn't take your time, but anyway, that's okay. He had a man on the outside who he's found. Gone back towards the wing position. Kick to a contest, and that's a really, really nice mark taken there by Alexander. He's been good for the Tigers so far. Goes back, switches it back to the centre of the ground. Taken there by Graham. Graham over the top to Edwards, to Bennett, I should say. Bennett, that's a really nice kick. Chug taken high. Yeah, it was there. He went to spoil the ball, his opponent, but he's clipped him in the back of the head, and Sam Chug with a relieving free kick, with the resultant free kick, I should say there, and he's going to have a shot on goal from around about 35 metres out, Matty.
Goes to show what I was talking about with foot skills and stuff like that. Matty Lee took that terrific mark, horrible kick going into 50, give the footy back to Longford, and a nice passage of play to that build-up.
Chug's pushed that one right across the face of goal, and that's gone through for one behind. Longford 2-1-13, South Launceston 1-4-10. We're just ticking over towards 7 minutes in the second quarter.
This is where we'll start to see the play slow down a little bit as boys start to run out of petrol tickets 7 minutes into the second quarter, and it'll be about keeping ahead, making smart decisions with the footy.
That wasn't a smart one from Sam Artis. He's just blazed away. Chug pushes his opponent out. Oh, he's asking the question. He's got the foot on that one, but I think it was already over the line. So, as you said, Matty, guys starting to get a little tired after that frantic start, making mistakes. South looking to clear it out here. We've gone out towards the wing position. It's a nice mark taken there. Moving it on quickly. Viney well up the ground. Started in the goal square. He's taken that one on the wing. Heads to a teammate who's outnumbered. And Will Edmonds punches that one over the boundary line for the Tigers. So, yeah, the fitness is going to be paramount here, Matty, today, isn't it, on this big ground?
And you just seen in that passage of play, you've got Jordan Bennett, played a lot of senior footy, played state league footy, hits up Elliot Lockhart, who's played a lot of senior footy this year for South Launceston, to Aaron Viney. And without doing too much, they've moved the footy from end to end with just a bit of calm and relaxed play there.
Sam Graham takes it out of the ruck for Longford. Heads back into attack. Bennett, time to mop up. Back to whence it's come, beat everyone. Back to Graham, who almost juggled it. 2 bites of the cherry, but not quite. As we've talked about, composure is just so important in any game, but particularly in a grand final. You're not going to win it, you know, in 5 minutes, but you can certainly make some mistakes that make it hard to win it, that's for sure. Boundary throw in on the wing. Ruckman do battle. Graham, dominant ruckman on the ground. Another inside 50 for the Tigers. South have got the numbers there. Quick throw on the boot there. Score just offline. I thought that one was going to carry for them. Just making the most of their opportunities, and as you called, Matthew, the dominance of Sam Graham really important here so far.
He's having an impact with his hit-outs, but he's actually getting a lot of the footy around the ground as well. He just experienced player, getting to smart positions, following up really well, having an impact on this game.
Sam Artis, nice measured kick. Oh dear. South Launceston player there dropped what he should have taken, Ben Hayward, and spent that one, I think, before it got there. Matthew Davey turns the ball to the umpire there for the Tigers. The ball's just down in front of us in the commentary position here. Umpire balls it up. South Launceston player ridden into the ground. Lucky not to give away a free kick there. Umpire says that's mine. He's going to ball it up again. Repeat of the last stoppage. Ruckman do battle. Umpire's found a free kick there. A holding free kick, I think, there. Holding free kick there taken by Nick Kruger back towards the centre of the ground. Viney well up away from the goals. Chug. Ball bobbling around. Chug with a nice little tap out. Viney hacks it forward. At about 6 possessions, and we've moved the ball about 5 metres. Dakin back towards the middle. Viney with a hand on. It's going to sit for Geordie Bennett. Heads inside 50 for South. Oh, terrific mark. Just a really, really nice read of the play. You talked about Matty Lee, how he does that earlier, Matthew, and classic example of it just there.
Really good reader of the flight and a really good contested mark, which is why he was really highly touted. Still only a young fella and only 19 years of age, so probably one of the youngest out there today. We have mentioned that it's an awkward kicking style. He needs to make sure that he's far enough from the back from the man on the mark this time as well. Give it a chance.
Moves in. Nice run up and an awkward kicking style, as we've said. Might be awkward, but it's highly effective, and he's squared it up. South Launceston with their second goal of the game moved to 2-4-16. Longford also 2-4-16. So reward for effort there, although you probably say a little bit against the flow of play there, Matty.
I really like the move they've made of putting Dodds into the ruck. They might have gone away from that now that I've said it, but Dodds to the ruck there. He's one of their co-captains, one of their leaders. Nullified the influence of Graham. They got the clearance, and that's led to a goal. But Keegs has gone back in there against now that Graham's gone out. So try and have the number 1 ruckman go against the number 2 ruckman and flip it the script there on Longford.
Akers is giving Graham a spell, but he's won that one. Nice tap, but he's going to be taken away by South. Little chip kick back in the middle there. Fallen nicely into the arms of Beams. Beams goes long, probably just outside 50. Barron got a hand on it, didn't sit for him. Not going to sit there either for Dakin, although he butters up beautifully by hand. They're away now, the Tigers. Nice little kick. Chug. Been busy. Ben Chug. Another inside 50. Towards they've done that before, those two, I reckon. His brother Sam couldn't quite take the mark. Matthew Davey underneath that. He's been a good pressure player up there for the Tigers, but they're going to get a look at it inside 50. Or just right on 50 as the umpire balls it up. Akers pushed out of the way by Keegan. Wins the tap. Barron held on to. Butters up. He's pulled that one in under him. Dangerous thing to do. The umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. He balled that one up actually just inside 50 for the Tigers. You get a feeling the next goal's important in this. Into the arms of Chug. Drives it long. It's offline. Ben Chug. One behind. Pushes the Tigers ahead to 2-5-17. South Launceston 2-4-16 as we've just ticked over 13 minutes in the second quarter.
Both teams with makeable chances that they might rue some of their misses. We have mentioned there's a bit of breeze going to the University of Tasmania Stadium sign side, but it's certainly no hurricane out there.
Longford going to get another look at it here now, although it's beautifully smothered there. Beautifully smothered. They've got a hand in there, Brad Dodds. Longford were looking to set sail there, but Dodds just got a hand in and held it up, and we're going to have a stoppage just on the wing position. Keegan and Akers. Keegan takes it away. Ball in dispute. Players fighting for it. Boundary line's going to be the winner. Keegan takes it over. A bit of push and shove there near the boundary, as Matthew said earlier. Combatants in last year's grand final. Umpire's picked out he's picked out a free kick against Akers there. He collected Beams high. Beams with a free kick for South. Nice kick forward. Artis busy, caught, lucky to get away with that. Lawrence spent it before he had it. Ball close to the boundary line. Great tackle. Yeah, I think he's called holding the ball. Yeah. Really, really nice tackle there by the Longford player.
It's an aggressive switch, but if it works off, it's going to be... We've got an off-the-ball whistle here.
I'm just trying to see what that was for.
And this is, again, where calm heads are going to be really, really important. There's some high tensions out there. And some people are not handling it as well as they need to. Barron's taken the advantage here, but used the man on the mark really, really smartly, and that is a fantastic finish by Rocky Barron.
We've talked throughout the game, haven't we, about the importance of just calmness. A silly free kick. Barron, who's got pace to burn, watch this, round the man on the mark, hits it from inside 50, and that's just gone straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's just a fantastic finish. That's taken Longford to 3-5-23. South Launceston 2-4-16. 15 and a half minutes gone in the second quarter, and mistakes like that can come back to haunt you.
It's a really smart finish by Barron as well. Jordan Bennett on the mark is a very, very quick athlete, a former Tasmanian representative in athletics, and he'd gone past him like he was standing still, using that stand rule to advantage. So it's very smart by him.
Graham back on for the Tigers, and he's back into the ruck and gets his first hand on that one, although I think we'll have a rerun here with the numbers around. No, the ball's spilled out, and the Bulldogs will take it away. But, only as far as the Longford defence. Dakin chops it off. Missed his target, but the Tigers have got the numbers. South Launceston get around and gather around there. Keegan, clever hand pass as the experience coming into play there, and hand pass directly to the boundary line. Got away with it, and they'll get a stoppage between wing and half forward here for Longford. Umpire throws it in. Graham front position. Nice tap over the back. South are going to rove a well. Player caught without it. Caught without it again. Umpire says play on. Hacked forward. Longford defence chops it off.
They're intercepting the ball really nicely across half-back Longford, and it's setting up a lot of their ball movement, often looking to switch the ball straight away. So South look dangerous when they get it in deep to Lee or Viney, but they're just not getting it there at the moment.
No, absolutely. South must be playing a man behind the ball, because they really had a clear out number there. They're mopping it up. Sort of a bit of a nothing bit of play there, although it'll work out okay for them. Round the boundary line. And that's a nice mark taken inside the boundary line by Lawrence. Chips it. Longford again got the numbers at the other end with their outnumber. Dakin hand passes to himself. Little chip kick back to Graham. Graham goes inboard. Little chip pass, missed his target. That was Bennett. Butters up.
And we could see there that Longford were away. It looked like they were about to go coast to coast, but just a poor skill execution there. That kick to a teammate free is what's broken that play up and brought South back into it.
Umpires found a free kick. Tigers going to get another look at it. Another inside 50. Chug leading hard at it. I think the umpires paid the free kick against him, and he has. He just got over the shoulder there of his Bulldogs opponent. Running straight at the footy, but just a little bit high. Unlucky. Back in the centre of the ground. Ben Chug this time holding it up. Been busy, both the Chugs, as we've said numerous times. Very experienced players for the Tigers. Umpire throws it up. Keegan versus Graham. Ball's going to sit there beautifully. Tigers player drives it forward. Just offline. I think that was Elliot Lockhart. Just inaccurate. Had a bit more time than he thought, but unfortunately for the Tigers, sorry, that was Oscar Edwards, I should say. Unfortunately for the Tigers, his shot was offline. Bulldogs move it out. In the direction of Keegan. Ball's going to sit. That's a really, really nice tackle. Longford rewarded there. Play on's a call. Another inside 50. I think that was a touch ball. South with the numbers. Mopping it up. Mopping it up. Oh dear. Opportunity for Barron. Lines up for his second. And he's kicked his second. Fantastic play. You just can't make mistakes at that end of the ground. You just can't do that, and Rocky Barron punishes the Bulldogs for the second time today, Matthew.
He's a terrific young player, Rocky Barron. He, I believe he was part of Bracknell's premiership success last year as well, but went back to his home club of Longford, where he played all his junior footy this year. He's been in and out of their senior side, finds himself in the reserves today, but showing his class with two really, really good finishes. The South defence has just been under siege here this quarter. Whenever they try to repel it, it gets broken down by the Longford halfbacks, and they're just starting to look very tired down back south.
Longford take away from the centre. Danger signs here for the Bulldogs. They look to steady. Ball in dispute back in the middle of the ground. Picked his pocket there. That's really nice play, Tregurtha. Hacks it forward, direction of Keegan. Dakin's in front of him. Denham's there as well. Quick pressure kick out. It's going to be okay though. Graham leading the race for the Tigers. He's going to keep it in. Oh, sort of almost disguised. He probably wasn't unhappy with that, but yeah, he's asking the question. He thought that one stayed in.
Goes to show how important experience is. You wonder how a big lump of a ruckman like that finds that much space, but just knows where the footy's going.
Yeah, absolutely. He's punched it forward here now. That man Barron again. He's been really dangerous this quarter with 2 goals and numerous possessions. Driving it forward. Doesn't sit for Alexander. Bennett off the ground. Bouncing and bobbling. Butters up. Hit the post, Pearton. He's really smart around goals as a rule. He'll be disappointed with that one. Again, more time than he thought. Oh yeah, had more time than he thought too. Just missed. They really need to settle now, South.
They just need to hold on, you feel like, and reset at the halftime break here. They just don't have the answers about how to move the footy from end to end. Whenever they get it, it's 2 or 3 kicks and it's breaking down about this area of the ground more often than not.
This is a long kick. He's kicked to a contest. South Launceston look to come away, try to find something here. Tregurtha got a hand on it. It's gone back there. A dispute on the just in front of the interchange area. A lot of pressure around the footy. It's an important couple of minutes for both sides. Well, in fact, it's not going to be a couple of minutes. That's time. Half time. Longford 4 goals, 7 behinds, 31. South Launceston 2-4-16. So we might have had a bit of a few verbal things there, though. Both sides heading off into their huddle. We'll go through the goal scorers in just a moment. But it's been an interesting half of footy, Matty. You got the feeling towards the second part of that quarter that Longford started to gain the upper hand. We talked about the ascendancy of Graham in the ruck. We talked about the influence of Barron, exciting young player. How do you see things at halftime?
When they've got the footy in deep, we've spoke about Lawrence and Lee and Viney looking really, really dangerous, but they just can't get it into them. I think the way Ben Murfitt's reading the play off half-back, he seems to be intercepting everything. Whenever the South try to move the footy, he's thereabouts. We spoke about the dominance of Big Graham in the ruck, Ben Murfitt having influence around the stoppages, Ben Chugg having influence around the stoppage, Barron with a couple of classy finishes. So you feel like they're going in feeling quite confident, Longford. Bomber Towns and Michael Spalding as coaching group will go to work here at half-time, trying to find a way to get the footy through to their deep forwards.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting how they address it. We talked before the game of how Longford were undefeated through the roster season. South came out and gave them an absolute touch-up in the second semi. They regrouped the Tigers, got over Bridgenorth last week, and obviously here today. And it has been a bit of an arm wrestle. You get the feeling that Longford have had more opportunities. They've wasted a couple. I think we saw a poster. We saw a couple of near misses that they probably should have kicked. But South, again, they've looked dangerous when they've been going forward, but just that breaking down, has been the factor. We'll go through the scores again. Longford 4-7-31, South Launceston 2-4-16. The goal kickers, and the leading goal kicker on the ground for the Tigers is Rocky Barron with 2. Singles to Alexander and Bennett. And for South Launceston, the goal scorers are Matthew Lee and Jonathan Lawrence. So as we head into half-time, great encounter, lots of pressure around the footy. Be interesting to see what adjustments the coaches make. Back to you after the halftime break. Halftime, the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final, Longford 4-7-31, South Launceston 2-4-16. But it's been a little bit of a rain around earlier, Matthew, which might be contributing to that fumbly nature.
You can see both teams want to be aggressive when they get the footy, though. They're trying to switch it. They're trying to take on attacking kicks, which you really like to see.
Brad Keegan's taken that one out of the air, but he's tackled beautifully, and free kick there to Longford. Scrubby old kick, but it's going to fall fortuitously into the arms of Baden Alexander. So, yeah, funny old kick off the boot, as the viewers will see. There's the free kick for holding the ball. Ball pumped in by Daniel Bennett, and yeah, fortuitously into the arms of Alexander, who's going to line up from around about 30 metres out straight in front, no angle at all. Makes the umpire work a little, but that's the first goal for the Tigers. 1 goal straight 6. South Launceston yet to score on quickly. Contest. Oh, fantastic mark taken there by Brad Dodds. Forwards have got a look at it, and that's a really, really nice mark. Judged the flight beautifully there, Jonathan Lawrence. Jono Lawrence, an experienced player, former St Pat's premiership player in the schoolboys. Really, really read that well.
He is a prodigious kick, Jonathan Lawrence, but he also has a case of the yips from time to time. So his first shot is very important for him.
Great insight there, Matty. He's going to hit this one from just on 50. Struck it well, struck it really well. He struck it really well, and that's going to be the start his confidence wants as the South Launceston Bulldogs had their first for the day. They moved in fantastic. Ball's gone inside 50. Whoa, he's going to call that. There's a nice mark though, taken away by the Tigers, thrown on the boot, and that's a fantastic goal. Fantastic goal there to Daniel Bennett, I think that was. All rushing to him. We were commenting the numbers are a little challenging to see at times. We'll have another look at that one. That's just gone sailing through.
I'm not sure who it was that caused the ball to come to ground, but sometimes as a forward your job's just to make sure that you don't get outmarked, and it looked like the South player had it, but he's caused a contest, the ball spilled free, and that brings the small forwards into play.
Alexander's fed that out. Sam Artis, nice measured kick. Oh dear. South Launceston player there dropped what he should have taken, Ben Haywood, and spent that one, I think, before it got there. Matthew Davey turns the ball to the umpire there for the Tigers. The ball's just down in front of us in the commentary position here. Umpire balls it up. South Launceston player ridden into the ground. Lucky not to give away a free kick there. Umpire says that's mine. He's going to ball it up again. Repeat of the last stoppage. Muckman-Do battle. Umpire's found a free kick there. A holding free kick, I think, there. Holding free kick.
People are not handling it as well as they need to. Barron's taken the advantage here, but used the man on the mark really, really smartly, and that is a fantastic finish by Rocky Barron.
We've talked throughout the game, haven't we, about the importance of just calmness. A silly free kick. Barron, who's got pace to burn, watch this, round the man on the mark, hits it from inside 50, and that's just gone straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's just a fantastic finish. That's taken Longford to 3-5-23. South Launceston 2-4-6. Welcome back here to UTAS Stadium for the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final, Longford versus South Launceston. I'm Rob Soward and I'm joined in special comments by Matthew Chatwin. Half-time, Longford 4-7-31, South Launceston 2-4-16. Matthew, you've had the coaches' magnet board out at half-time very quickly for both sides. What do you do?
I reckon if I'm Dill Headland, coach at Longford, I'm just asking for more of the same. If I'm Bombing Towns for South Launceston, I'm asking the boys, how can I get the footy to the last line of defence more often? And straight away we could see Aaron Viney's gone starting in the centre circle as opposed to starting at full forward. So that's one change they've made to try and make that happen.
Graham's continued his good form from the first half and he's got the first hand on it for Longford. He's been pivotal, but that move of Viney that you talked about could be pivotal also. A very experienced player, and South need to get their hands on it. Barron overrun it. Bit of a wrestle on the ground. The umpire's going to ball it up again. That's 3 ball ups, and it's still in the square. Graham. Tigers move it forward. Umpire's found a free kick there. He's going to bring that one back. And taken there by Davey for the Tigers. Davey drives it inside 50. Diving effort there, not quite. South with the numbers to move it out. Calm heads need to prevail here. Moving it out towards the half-back position. Graham leading the race with the ball pushed off it. He's going to get a free kick. Paid against Jack Lewis there. Clear push in the back against Sam Graham. He's been influential. Speaking of influential, he's gone out and found that man in Barron, who's been terrific so far. 2 terrific goals for the Tigers. Giving them a look at it here. It's a really strong mark taken across the half-back line by Lucas. He's been good too. Lucas. Bennett. Jordan Bennett goes short to Viney. He's been further up the ground as Matthew advised. Pulled him out of the goal square. Aaron Viney, nice long kick, giving his forwards a look. Contest situation. Dakin, Will Edmonds, caught, and that's going to be a holding the ball free kick. Just didn't quite get that onto his boot in time. Great pressure there from the Bulldogs. It's just the start that they wanted. Just the start that they wanted. It's going to be Elliot Lockhart. The resultant free kick. He's going to kick from just inside 50. Lockhart strikes it well. Strikes it really well. The crowd noise gives it up. And that's just the start South Launceston wanted. They move on to 3-4-22. Longford 4-7-31, Matty.
Young Elliot Lockhart, he was one of the co-captains of the South Under-18 Premiership side last year. Very highly touted young fella that probably hasn't had much influence on the game so far, but he's a prodigious kick, as you can see from there, and showing his young developing leadership skills by having an influence early in the third quarter, Premiership quarter. Young fella standing up in a reserves grand final, making his mark on the game.
And you talked about what the coaches would have to do, and we've talked about Sam Graham's dominance. Well, you can have the dominant ruckman, but you need someone to get their hands on it, and that's where Viney could be critical. At this stage, though, the Tigers take it away. Graham to Barron, probably their 2 best players at the moment. It's nothing kicked, though, and chopped off by Keegan across half-back. Drives it long. And that's a nice leap there. Doesn't come down with it, South Launceston. We'll get an inside 50 though. Ball bobbling around there in front of Edmonds. Kick to his advantage rather than the advantage of Jonathan Lawrence, which is what he would have wanted. And ball escorted over deep into the South Launceston forward line. So Bulldogs have come out with a sense of urgency. Throw in. Lots of players around the ball. Scored it back over the boundary line, almost where it was thrown in originally. So Longford defence will want to set themselves up here. They certainly won't want to give up another score and give that ascendancy to South, who looked in the first 4 minutes of this quarter to be the real aggressors. Graham. Ball moved around the defence. Grabbed there by Edwards. Long kick. Nice mark taken there by Chugg for Longford. Just relieve the pressure a little bit. Goes short, probably not the measure, and it's not. Doesn't hit the target anyway. Chugg goes in again to try and make up for his mistake. Quick check side in there from the Bulldogs player. Back to Graham. Graham caught, holding the ball. South Launceston pressure terrific so far, Matty.
Oh, I thought it might have been a 50 for a second there, sorry. Hence why I was holding my breath. Yes, it has. And Matty Lee's also gone around the footy as well. He started that last centre bounce. So they're 2 full forwards, getting him into the game, and it's having a great effect.
Juggling mark. Lawrence kicked the first goal of the game. Got the first hands on, knocked it up to himself. And he'll be looking to capitalise on the great start the Bulldogs have had to this third quarter, the premiership quarter. You notice there he's Longford opponent just ran under the footy, and Lawrence, really nice grab. 2 grab effort there. He's going to kick this from about 30 metres out on a slight angle. Moves in, nice approach, but he's pushed it across. Goal umpire working really hard there. His step tracker would have had smoke coming off it. And that's one other behind to the Dogs, but all South Launceston this quarter so far. We're just approaching 6 minutes. 3-5-23 trailing Longford 4-7-31.
It's a really disappointing miss, you feel. While they've got momentum, they want to make the most of it, because you know Longford will come back at them, so you'd be really disappointed with that effort.
Just gives the Tigers a chance to settle down too. They've looked a little unsettled, and it's not his best kick, and that's off hands. I think it was touched and over the boundary line off Alexander's hands. I thought that might have just carried and was a resultant free kick, but not to be. Fortune favours the brave, as they say. Umpire throwing it in the wing position. Ruckman do battle. Going to get another throw in. That was a nice hand on there from Bradley Dodds in front of Sam Graham. South have clearly come out to quell the dominance of Graham, not just in that ruck, but just to try and get the first hands on Matty through those on-ball changes that you mentioned.
Dodd started in the ruck, not Keegan, this quarter, one of their co-captains, so taking the onus upon himself.
South take it away, but chopped off there by Dakin. Going back out towards Graham, a little dribbler. It's going to go over the boundary line. Physicality there from Matty Davey, just making sure that ball got to the boundary line, and hopefully giving the Tigers just a chance to settle things down a bit. It's all the Bulldogs though at the moment. They've come out full of running, made some key changes, and certainly benefited from it in the early stages of this third quarter. Graham takes it out of the air, a little dribbler kick back towards the boundary line. Ben Chugg, handballs to no one in particular, chopped off there by South. Heads back in the wing position. Ball in dispute. Graham's sort of trying to play a ruckman and a ruck rover roll there, but ball doesn't sit there for Weinberg. Ball escorted over the boundary line, edged forward for South.
It's a bit of a stalemate here at the moment.
It really is, but you feel it's a real critical part of the game. Longford certainly won't want to give up another goal. You take it away there, Bennett. Thrown on the boot by the Tigers. It's going to come back in though. Punched away by Tom Cox. Just not quite sitting. Just not quite sitting there for the Dogs at the moment. The little quick kick forward or the tap forward, just not sitting for them. So just get the real feel that the next few minutes are going to be critical in affecting the outcome of this game. Graham probably lucky not to get pinged there for holding it. He tapped it to himself and then was then taken by Dodds.
Very stationary around the stoppage.
Now the umpire's found a free kick there. It's going to be to the Tigers. It was a holding free kick, and looks like Will Dakin's going to take that one. Plays on. Drives it along looking for Lewis. But I thought that might have been a mark taken. No. South Launceston player there certainly asking the question, Jordan Furley, but no, the umpire's going to ball it up. In the wing position. Bobbling around, taken away there. Quick kick forward by the Bulldogs. Another inside 50, sits for Keegan. Throws it on the boot. Bobbling around. South looking for an opportunity. Artis by hand. Caught. Tigers defence steadying. I think that's going to be a downfield free kick. Dealt with after he got rid of it. Probably wasn't much in that.
There's the push in the back aspect that I suppose is also, you can't do that. You can't just push a guy in the back either. So correct call, and I reckon the umpires have been running at 100% today. I think they've nailed absolutely every decision thus far.
Yeah, they've been great all season, and that's a nice little chip there for Edmonds. Dangerous kick back into the centre half back position, but it's going to be okay to Tom Cox. He's found a player in space on the far side of the ground, and the Tigers are out. Nice kick up there towards the wing position. Moving the ball quickly. Going to stay in play. They're going to get a look at it inside 50 here. South defence stack it up. Chug to Davey. Davey. Quick kick forward. And he won behind though. So quick ball movement there by the Tigers. They've looked dangerous when they've been able to move the ball quickly, but not reward for effort in that occasion. We're just approaching 11 minutes. 4:8:32 Longford, 3:5:23 South Launceston in the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Dogs bring it back into play, looking to set something up across half back. And that's a mark taken there by Elliot Lockhart. Lockhart chips it back in towards the middle. Dogs looking to set something up. Little short chip kick. It's going to be okay. Artis looking to set something up. The next kick will be the one. Artis runs around the man on the mark. Nice long kick inside 50. Longford have got the spare, and he's going to take that away by hand. Kick back towards the middle of the ground. It's all okay. Taken there by Chug. Chug's going to have a run. Loads up. South have got the spare at the other end, and they've picked him out, although he's not taken the mark. Moved forward quickly by Davey. Oh, Gray was streaming onto that. Madden, I should say, was streaming onto that. Bounce didn't sit for him, though, unfortunately. And that's another behind to the Tigers.
Just another example of the Longford forwards being able to not be outmarked. Bring the footy to ground. Don't concede intercept marks. They've kicked goals out of it today by bringing their smalls into the play, by just not conceding intercept marks.
South are looking to set it up. Taking their time. Kick to a contest just towards the wing position. Ball's bouncing around there. It's going to be all okay for South though. Grayson Lester. Quick kick back up towards the wing position. Longford have got the numbers. Oh, a bit overcooked the handball. Keegan off the deck. Boundary line's going to win, which is probably fortuitous. They're looking dangerous there, the Dogs. Every time it's gone inside 50, you just get a sense that they can do something with it. Approaching 13 minutes in the third quarter. Longford 4:9:33, South Launceston 3:5:23. Boundary umpire's going to throw this one in just inside the South Launceston 50. Ackers into the ruck, beats all the ruckmen. Kicked off the ground there by Keegan. Punched away. Players looking to get hold of it. Chug unloads his opponent. Vine is in there for South. Caught. Chug. Longford player dealt with high. Umpire didn't see that one. Didn't like that treatment from Viney. Looked like a high tackle. The umpire said play on. Ben Murphy unlucky not to get a free kick there. It's thrown up just outside 50. Ackers and Keegan. Lots of numbers around the footy. Denham bustling away in there. South looking to set something up. Lewis unloads the Bulldogs player. Goes in again. The umpire's called a hold there. Played advantage. Tigers are out. You could raffle this here. Shepherd runs onto it. Drives it into the goal square. Looking for Chug. He's leading the race for the ball. Alexander tries to help him out. Chug doubles back. Hand pass to Alexander. Bulldogs have got reinforcements back now though. Got the numbers. Murphy, Davey battling away in there. could be holding the ball. The umpire said yes, Matty Davey had an opportunity to get rid of that. So the pendulum swung again, Matthew.
They've hung on by the skin of their teeth there, South. I was thinking just before that passage of play that the next goal feels so crucial here at the moment. You feel like if Longford kick it, they might break this game open. You feel like South really need to kick the next one to stay in this contest at the moment. It's just got that feel about it, and the next goal's crucial, so hence why the desperate defensive action's there.
Initially a poor kick out of defence, and I think it's gone over the boundary line. It was initially a poor kick out of defence, just bouncing around in space, but just fell fortuitously there for South. And across the boundary line just in front of the interchange area. Just ticked over 15 minutes. Longford 33, South Launceston 23. Matthew Chatwin, Rob Soward here calling the game. Tigers take it away. Ben Chugg drives it forward for the Tigers. High ball. Alexander in front. Won't sit for him. Sits for Madden. South desperate in defence. Going to keep it in. Bennett. Back to Bennett. Really nice Geordie Bennett. Really good under pressure. And he's found Kai Jackson just inside the boundary. Jackson. Oh. Bulldogs drop what they should have taken. Might come back to bite them. Another inside 50 for the Tigers. Alexander. And that just shows you cannot make a mistake, Matty, at that part of the ground.
Turnovers have been crucial here today. When teams have looked to move the footy at times, they've turned it over in dangerous positions, and it leaves forwards in open space. And Alexander, he finished one early from a similar position, so you feel like he's got this in him.
Probably the most critical kick of the game in the game at this point. South come out like a house on fire. Longford looking to steady. Alexander strikes it really well. Strikes it really well. And Alexander, his second goal of the day, and you just get a bit of a feeling that Longford's got their measure. I mean, we've said South Launceston came out full of running, Matty. All had all the play on their terms early on. And what happens? Critical mistake. Safe hands of Alexander there on the mark. And kicks a great goal from inside 50.
What I really liked was South was starting to trust some of the younger players. Lockhart was getting into the game, having an impact. Jackson having an impact. But as them bodies have got tired, the experienced bodies of Chugg and Alexander come to the fore, and it's just resulting in what feels like a crucial goal.
Yeah, it's just a real momentum changer. Chugg, we've called Chugg, he's gone into the middle now. That experienced body around the footy. Cox, Graham, South trying to get it away. There's big strong Longford bodies in there, proving really difficult. Tom Cox is going to come away with it for the Tigers. A little chip kick forward. Was going to be a nice mark there to his Tigers teammate in Shepherd. He's punched in the back of the head, so mark or free kick, take your pick. Oh, strong from Chugg. All of a sudden, it's all Tigers. Alexander! Oh, snaps across again. Had more time, Matty, than he thought, and pushed it across the goals.
And we spoke earlier in the game that every time these teams play, it hasn't been a close one. One team gets on top and then they seem to get a roll on with momentum. So it's got that feeling about it. You hope for entertainment's sake that South can hold on here. They've got 4 minutes to hold on and reset at three-quarter time, but Longford are on the charge.
South looking to clear it out and give themselves another opportunity to goal, but Longford have certainly stacked the players across this half-back line. They want the ball to stay in here. Longford player caught high, thought he might have got a free kick. He's asking the question, that's for sure. Luke Pearton, the captain. The umpire said no, it's going to be a throw-in. 18.5 minutes gone. Longford 5:10:40. South Launceston 3:5:23. South cannot give up another goal here. Graham, clever tap into space. Gray quickly drives it in. Nice mark there by South. Taken there by Haywood.
Fantastic hit out by Graham. I really like that one. Get it over the back, get a runner onto it and get an inside 50. Great hit out.
Dogs really need to clear this out and move it on quickly. It's chopped off again by the Tigers. Bobbling around. Could be holding the ball. No, umpire says that's mine. He was lucky. Pressure from the Tigers was outstanding there. Sam Gray, fantastic.
They've owned territory all day. They just feel like they set up so well across half-back that the Bulldogs can't move the footy, and that's why kicks like that to try and break open the play come in.
Sam Graham, again, as he's done most of the day, very dominant. Tigers are going to have another look at it. Tom Cox, no left foot, and he's caught. Dogs free kick. They need to make something from this. They really, really need to make something from this. Nice defence. Will Edmonds punches it over the boundary line. Teammates getting around him. Tigers growing in confidence after withstanding that onslaught from the Bulldogs in the early part of this quarter. Just ticked over 20 minutes. Longford will just want to bottle it up here, head into three-quarter time with that lead intact. They won't want to cough up one. Graham, nice tap to Bennett. Bennett going to give the Tigers another look at it. Ben Chugg moves it on quickly to Lewis. Lewis had a whole stack of time. Is it going to bounce? Oh, no, it's not. Gray battling around there. Call without it. Yes! Haywood's asking the question, but he had hold of Gray.
He probably deserves a look at it, Gray, because he got the most horrible bounce you'll ever see.
Runs around and kicks the goal! Sam Gray. And that started with that just pressure play from Lewis. His physicality and his strength around the ball created that opportunity, and the ball went forward. Gray, as you said, had a terrible bounce. He just had a terrible bounce, but smart player, and finishes it off beautifully.
He's only a little fella, Sammy Gray. You feel like you'd be able to see his socks in his driver's licence photo. He doesn't take up much space, but he's got that little snap around the body working to perfection, and I just can't help but feel like the floodgates might open here, because South have to attack to try and kick some goals here, and it might hurt them the other way. It's got that feel about it.
It certainly has. Graham again, terrific out to Chugg. We've called that a few times today. Chugg drives it in. Lewis pushes his opponent out. South under siege. They just really can't afford to give up another score. Doesn't bounce well for Viney. Graham's back there as well. Bennett, blind turn, back to Graham. Sold his teammate into trouble. It's going to be okay, though, for the Tigers. Chugg gives it off. Hacked forward, chopped off there by South. He was off, and he is off. And that's a siren. Well, you know, isn't it just amazing?
Oh, hang on.
Downfield free kick. I didn't see what that was for, Matty. Did you see what happened there?
I don't, but I can still see Dodds on his haunches. So Dodds obviously kicked the footy forwards, and looks like he's popped a bit of a hip and shoulder. It'll be an ambitious effort. Kruger here with the outside 50 effort. He's going to have to go for the torpedo, I feel.
Well, as you can hear by the crowd reaction, that wasn't a torpedo, or B, anywhere near the goal. So, yeah, bit of chirp, bit of chat, bit of up and about here from both sides. But I was just about to say before that happened, Matty, just amazing how things can just swing around. We got the feeling early in that quarter it was all South Launceston, wasn't it? But then the latter part of the quarter was all the Tigers.
Absolutely, and they threw some magnets around coming out from the half-time break. We spoke about how both their full forwards went into the centre square and give them a bit of a lift from stoppage. Actually, they started to get the first cut of centre clearances, so they threw the magnets around, had an immediate effect, but Longford rectified it. They got back on top around the stoppage. They've owned ground position all day. Their half-backs have been really influential for mine, and it's now time for South. South are just going to have to throw everything at it. They've really got to roll the dice. They're going to have to play on. They're going to have to take on the corridor. So they could score quickly or they could concede quickly, which would be dangerous the other way. But you feel like Longford have the game in a position they'd be really comfortable with.
Absolutely. Three-quarter time scores. Longford 6-10-46, South Launceston 3-5-23. And just before we head to a quick break, we'll go through the goal scorers for Longford. Barron and Alexander with two each, singles to Gray and Bennett. And for South Launceston, singles to Lee, Lawrence and Lockhart. Three-quarter time, Premier League Reserves Grand Final, Longford 6:10:46, South Launceston 3:5:23. We'll be back to you shortly. Well, it's all do or die now for the Bulldogs. Just about to start the last quarter. Longford 6:10:46, South Launceston 3:5:23. Rob Soward and Matthew Chatwin here, Premier League Reserves Grand Final. It was all South to start that third quarter, but Longford finished off like a house on fire, and you get the feeling, Matty, South are going to need the first couple to at least give themselves a chance.
Yeah, they need to flip the script big time. The way the game's been played suits Longford to an absolute T. They've dominated from stoppage. They've set the ground up really well. They've used the footy well. It would have to be a big turnaround for things to change.
Ball goes up in the centre of the ground to start the last quarter. Graham's been terrific, although the Dogs take away. Went without it, Keegan. Looking for Viney. Viney, quick kick. Chips it out there to Artis. Artis drives it along for the Dogs. Cox, fantastic. The stalwart takes it over the boundary line. Sorry, that Will Edmonds, I should say. Edmonds and Cox both been terrific back there for the Tigers today. Umpire throws it in. Graham, clever. It's gone down over that, but the umpire says, that's mine. Ruckman do battle. South just need something to happen here. They've only kicked 3 goals to this point in time. 3 goals in 3 quarters, so you get the feeling they're going to need a couple of quick early ones here. That's a nice tap, but only as far as Tom Cox. For Longford, kicks for touch, finds touch, and they'll just be happy to take that all day, the Tigers.
Yeah, this suits them to a T. They'd be happy to just knock a couple of minutes off the clock here early, I reckon, take momentum out of the game and just have a repeat stoppage, and they've dominated from there all day, so that'd suit them as well.
With the dominant ruckman on the ground, you know, they wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm sure Sam Graham doesn't want 300 ball-ups in the last quarter, but they certainly wouldn't mind from a team perspective. That's taken away by South, but ploughed out on the full. It'll be a resultant free kick there to the Tigers. They're looking to move things on. Head back towards the centre of the ground. It's a really, really nice mark taken there by Chug. He plays on. Heads inside 50. So fallen for Barron, who was running onto that beautifully, but it didn't sit for him. South chop it out. Head back towards the ruckman. The umpire says that's a free kick there to Keegan. Graham sort of feigned that he marked it, but the umpire had none of that. Keegan chips it back towards the middle. Taken there by Jack Lewis. He moves it on to Lockhart. Lockhart drives it long. Tigers defence holding up. Will Edmonds there, just escorting that out. Made it look like he wanted it to stay in, but certainly the clock and the scoreboard, the Tigers' friend at the moment.
The idea was right, to get the footy in the centre of the corridor and wheel and go and get it in deep, but the Longford defence has just been outstanding all day and chopped that one off again.
Bennett drives it forward. It's all South there at the moment. Artis, little kick when a handball would have done. South are going to have another look at it though. They're sticking with their pressure. Mark dropped. Should have been taken there by Lee. He did all the hard work and got himself to the front of that contest, but didn't stick. Bit of a tale of South's day today. He had the momentum. Tigers rested it back, and you just got the feeling that it's all the Bulldogs to do at the moment.
I feel like someone needs to get really proactive at this stoppage, try and get on the fly and break it open, but it's going to be hard when they've got such a dominant ruckman to do that.
Tigers are going to come away with it. Up there in the direction of Alexander. Goes by hand. They're out now, the Tigers. Bennett with a bounce. Lost it, gathered it. Steadies, fakes, dummies himself, goes around his opponent. Bennett, beautiful play from Bennett, drives it inside 50, and that's a terrific mark. He's copped one high, and the umpire's going to say that's 50. You can hear the reaction of the crowd. It's a really, really nice mark taken there by Chug. Copped one high for his trouble. The umpire having none of that. Pays the 50. Point blank range for Sam Chug. Puts it out onto Invermay Road. He made hard work of it. I thought for a moment he'd missed there, Matty.
I think he might have got a bit too close to the man on the mark, just sort of forgot about actually finishing off the goal, but it's pretty close to party time, and Bennett pulling out the little dance steps out on the wing there was fantastic, in and out of traffic, put a little move on his opponent there, and probably no malice in the whack across the chops, but you can't hit an opponent high like that, so 50's the right decision, and you feel like they're starting to really feel like they've got a hand on the cup now, Longford.
Yeah, South Launceston certainly didn't want that to happen. They really needed to start with a couple of quick goals. Back in the middle now, ruckman do battle. Tigers hack it forward through Bennett, bobbling around there. Really all in front of them. Jordan Bennett now for South. Nice kick and a nice mark taken there by Dodds. He's battled hard for them all day. Longford defence has just been terrific. It's been a real defensive effort rather than a standout defensive player, Matty. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. We think of the goals that South have kicked. It was Jonathan Lawrence from outside 50. It's Matty Lee took a fantastic contested mark. They've really pulled the goals from nowhere, and they haven't given them anything easy.
It's been a real team effort. Bennett again, he's been really busy this last quarter. Hobbles around in the square. Davey keeping it moving forward. The Tigers are out again. Kick inside 50. That's better though from the Bulldogs defence. That's a really nice mark taken there by Homan. Homan out towards us in the direction of Barron there for Longford. Great pressure from Graham. It's going to spill. Fantastic Sammy Graham, the veteran, the dominant ruckman on the ground, and just showing he's attacking it like the Tigers are down, not like they're up by 29 points. It's a great tackle. And
he keeps putting himself in the right position. That kick was always coming out this way to him, and just placing himself in the right position for this situation.
Close to the man on the mark, bit up and under about that one. The Bulldogs have got the numbers there. Tigers racing through though. Lewis. Oh, nice tackle. Really nice tackle from Chug. Oh, I thought he might have got a free kick there, the veteran. The umpire said, no, it's mine. We ball it up about 30 metres out from the Tigers' goal. Bobbling around. Davey hacks it forward. South player. Tigers players asking for insufficient intent. That'd be pretty stiff, I reckon. Tigers all over him there. Got to ask the question though, if you're a forward, you certainly don't die wondering in that situation, Matty.
Absolutely, and we've seen some great icing goals from this pocket over the last couple of weekends, so you might as well give yourself an opportunity to kick one from the grandstand.
Tigers are going to get another look at it. It's headed inside 50. Juggling mark. Really nice juggling mark taken there by Homan. He's out.
They need to just take a few risks here, you think, South? This is the right idea. Just make it up on the fly. Just run, handball, try and find a teammate.
Lester to Bennett, back to Lester. Ackers drops the mark for the Tigers. They're getting in there, diving in hard. Yeah. Diving in for a kick. Bulldogs will come away with it. That's not going to travel the required journey. The umpire's already saying play on, and he wants it for a ball up. If you're going to play on, you've got to go long there. You just can't kick it straight up in the air and hope to get a result. Ackers giving Graham a spell. It's a draw. He's going to go up against Dodds again. Same spot almost as the last one. We've just ticked over 8 minutes 30. Longford 7:10:52, South Launceston 3:5:23. South with it all to do. And Longford will just take these ball ups all day. This is just fruit for the sideboard for them. Just chewing the time up. Ackers and Dodds take 3. Comes away with it, the Tigers. South are going to have another look though. Certainly not giving up. Tigers defence, Cox. Throws it onto the left, drives it outside 50. Will it sit? Yes, it does. That's a really nice play. The ball's come back inboard, runs into a South Launceston tackle. Tigers looking to clear it out. Artist for South, drives it inside 50. Viney on the lead, juggle, doesn't hold it. Asks a question, South player there caught with it. Viney throws it onto the boot, didn't look. But I heard a whistle, ball bobbling around. Cox picks it up. Dangerous position. Goes back to Edmonds, takes his time, kicks it to a contest. Oh, luck's a fortune. Sits for Barron. Stands up 2 defenders. Barron runs around, has a bounce. Too far, says the umpire. Well, you can hear by the boos that the Longford fans aren't happy with that one, and that's going to be a resultant free kick there to Bradley Dodds. What's your thoughts on that one, Matty?
It's probably the free kick we need, because it was a comedy of errors there. There was the drop mark, there was the shot on goal that's gone higher than it's gone further, there was a handball to the last line of defence, so, and it all finishes with a bad shot on goal. So we'll wipe that 1 minute of vision from our memory and we'll reset with the kick in.
The universe has a way, Matthew. The universe has a way there, and Dodds missed, bad miss. Takes the Dogs to 3:6:24, trailing Longford 7:10:52. Massive kick out of defence there from Longford. Ball now up on the wing position. Towed forward by Alexander. He's kicked for touch. Effort to keep it in there by Davey. A good effort. He actually has kept it in. I don't know if he wanted to do that, but anyway, it's now deep inside the Longford 50. It's all South Launceston though, and it's heading back out here towards us. Gathered there by Lucas. Nice dummy around his opponent. Lucas kicks to space. Ackers is going to pick that up. No, he's not. Commentators cursed. Jack Lewis butters up. It's going to be picked up by Ben Chug though. Drives it inside 50. Punched away there by South. They're going to come away with it. No, they're not. It's a great tackle. Fantastic run down tackle. Advantage played. Dakin heads for home. And it's marked, I think, just inside the field of play. Just make sure of that one. Yes, the umpire said marked inside the field of play by Luke Pearton. Just wasn't quite sure about that one. Pearden's not a lot of daylight, runs around. Straight off the boot, the umpire signalled that one as a miss. Luke Pearden. Nice mark though, Matthew.
And it's all set up by their tackling pressure by Longford. Ben Murford, I think it was, with the fantastic tackle across half forward there. It's little things like that that feels like it's going to be the whole difference in the game. There's multiple times where South feel like they've had them hemmed in and haven't nailed the tackle in the same way that Longford have. Just executed all the skills better.
They certainly have. Their pressure's just been off the chart. Both sides started like in a real frenzy. That's a really poor kick. It's going to give the Tigers another look at it. A steady. Oh, just didn't sit. The Bulldogs are going to come away with it. Dodds has been really good for them today. He's batted away manfully, the skipper. Kicked it back to Tregurtha. Tregurtha back to the middle of the ground in the direction of Cox. Ben Chugg, a lot of pressure there. And all of a sudden, Matty, time's on the Tigers' side.
You can see that a couple of South boys starting to take on kicks that just aren't on, trying to create something to try and get a miracle goal from nowhere, and it's just causing errors that are going to hurt them, trying to help them. They're doing the right thing, but it's just not working out the way that they like.
It's a blocking free kick there. It's going to be given to Calamackers. He's moved it on by hand. Nice little decoy run there from Will Dakin. Drives it inside 50. Alexander thought he had it, but no. Alexander butters up. He's kicked the goal. Oh, I can hear the champagne corks popping at Longford now. The veteran just did all the hard work. He broke the pack. Ball bobbled around, got a second look at it and made no mistake.
And I have made the call a couple of times. It's just about getting the footy to ground. He was in a 2-on-1 there and he gets it to ground and then just follows up his own work and gets the rewards for effort. You can understand a forward to a 2-on-1 why you might not be expected to mark that one, but by bringing it to ground, he keeps the play alive, and he's been a pretty crucial player today for Baden Alexander, so reward for effort.
Yeah, it's just a Longford pressure. The South Launceston mistake, like you said, they've tried to take the game on, which they have to do, but that's what happens. Graham with a huge tap, and he's going to get a free kick there. He just about had his head and his man bun taken off.
A couple of disappointing free kicks being conceded by Keegan in a row in the ruck contest. Just some frustration coming out there.
And that's a really nice mark taken there by Baden Alexander. He's just presented really well all day. And he's going to have this one from just outside 50 when he hits it. But with 14 minutes 40 gone in the last quarter, Longford 8-11-59, South Launceston 3-6-24. We're just playing time out at the moment. It's going to be a celebration for the Tigers. Alexander moves in. He's not going to get the trip. Lots of Bulldogs around it. Oh, doesn't sit there. Lewis battling away. Dakin, Chugg. High free kick to Chugg. You just get that pressure around the ball and you're rewarded for effort, and obviously someone said something there. Frustration from South. 50-metre penalty. Chugg's put this one onto Invermay Road as well. It's party time now for the Tigers. Something was obviously said there when that free kick was picked out. Free kick was always there, Matty. Yeah,
it's just frustration here, and it's that sense of disappointment that you've worked all year, and you can see the result that's going to end from some of the South guys, but she's party time here for Longford, and we spoke pre-game about some of these names, Chuggs, the Greys, the Murfitts, the Dakins, these names that are just synonymous with the Longford Footy Club. So it's good to see them really hammering the point home here late on a day where in not too distant future their senior side's going to try and break a 33-year hoodoo, and this is probably a good omen for those supporters hoping that it goes that way.
Certainly the start the Longford Tigers wanted. The pressure's relentless though still even now. You know, we're into the dying stages of this game and the pressure's fantastic. They're going to get another look at it here. Dakin. Handball back inside to Dakin. Tigers just keeping it moving forward. It's all party time here now. South haven't touched it since the ball's cleared the centre square. It is chopped off now by Denham at half-back. Dodds drives it out for South. Taken on the wing. The pressure around the foot is fantastic. That's a holding the ball free kick there. Chip back in. Nick Denham chops it off for South. Just kick and hope at the moment, and Longford have got the numbers back there through Dakin. Gray battling away there. Dakin leans on his opponent. The Tigers are going to come away with it, as they have done a lot today across half-back. Just a hack kick forward to no one in particular. Bulldogs not giving up. They're battling away. That's a nice pass, finding Lockhart on the lead, and he's also moved it on quickly. And Longford defence that time were one of the first times today all at sea. And Matthew Lee, who's battled away manfully, Matty, for South, takes a really nice mark.
Yeah, when he's had the chance, he's had an impact. Unfortunately, just the supply hasn't been there. He's also had some opportunities that he squandered. Obviously, that one that was touched on the mark, but he has been dangerous. Just lack of supply has affected him.
Lee moves in. That awkward kicking style, and he's pushed that one across the face. Just hasn't got his reward for effort today. He certainly battled away. We noted he went up and around the ball in the third term, and he's battled away up forward, but too little too late at the moment. It's all Tigers. They're just chipping it around the back line at the moment. Gray goes out wide. They're just chewing the time up. Using the full 30 seconds. Little chip kick back to Gray. 4 kicks there. They've moved it about 30 metres, and that's all right. It's all right when you're up by 41 points. All the time in the world, the Tigers. Long kick down the line. Davey nasty knocked out of that one, but it's all okay. Ball bobbling around. Thought it was over the boundary line, but stays in. Dodds ridden into the ground. I think you'll probably get a free kick there. Pretty willing. We've got a South player down in back play. I didn't see what happened there.
I think he went back probably a bit sillily in this time of the game, with a bit of courage there, Keegan, with the flight of the footy, but probably not the time to be doing it, although you can't question his courage for doing it nonetheless.
Yeah, both sides have, gone in hard and fair throughout the whole game. It's certainly been what you'd expect in a grand final, that's for sure. Played in good spirit. A little bit of verbal niggle probably, but as you said, Matty, a bit of history with these sides being combatants in last year's game as well.
Yeah, and there's been, looking at the teams here, quite a bit of turnover between the two sides. So obviously they played off in last year's grand final, and Longford, like they're going to today, was successful, but good to see turnover of the clubs, and two clubs that are really pushing the level of professionalism in the NTFA competition, being successful, with obviously South still having their under-18 successful today, so they don't walk away from today 100% disappointed. Their women last week and their reserves playing off in a grand final, so they'd be happy with their efforts as a club.
Longford going to attack again, and Alexander, he's saying slow it down. He knows that it's not too long to go to the siren. Nice long kick towards Chugg. I think the umpires found a free kick there. That time it was against Chugg for holding on. Sam Chugg, beneficiary of the last 2 free kicks to go inside there, but this time free kick the other way. Siren's not too far away here, you feel right about now. Elliot Lockhart takes the mark for South. Back to Tepper. Back to Lockhart. Kicks to space. 2 Tigers there. Edmonds against Lee. Both fairly sharp of foot. Great pressure, Edmonds. Umpire's called play on. It's going to be gathered up there by Charlie Bull. He's got all the time in the world. By hand. Cox chips it. Tigers drive it forward again. You get the feeling the siren's not too far away. It's gone inside 50. South just playing out time. Denham caught there. Tigers asked the question. 21 and a half minutes gone. Longford 9:11.65. South Launceston 3:7.25.
I think both good playing groups would be happy for the boundary umpire just to hold it for as long as possible here.
You just get the sense we're really close. Graham with a tap as he's done all day. And there it is! There it is! NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. It's Tiger time. Longford 9:11.65, taking the chocolates over South Launceston 3:7.25. And despite South winning that second semi, Matthew, in very convincing style, I think you'd probably have to say, after an undefeated season, the Longford Tigers deserve to be premiers in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. So 16 wins from 16 matches during the regular season. Big surprise to see that they didn't qualify first to the grand final, that South did, but obviously they've come out with a point to prove here today and have done it in emphatic style. It's also a back-to-back premiership for their reserve side, which is a fantastic effort, because obviously your reserve side can be strongly affected by player turnover, by how your senior side's going. So it's a great sign for their footy club that they've got reserves teams winning 2 flags back-to-back and their senior side going really, really well. So from a whole club perspective, their under-18s are on the up as well, played in the final series. So ticking a lot of boxes out at Longford, but reward for effort for a dominant season for the Longford reserves.
Just as we're getting ready for the on-ground presentations, we'll just quickly go through the goal scorers. Baden Alexander 3 for Longford, 2 each to Rocky Barron and Sam Chugg, and singles to Sam Gray and Daniel Bennett. For South, singles to Matthew Lee, Jonathan Lawrence and Elliot Lockhart. So it's just been a really dominant performance by the Longford Tigers. Well-deserved premiers in the NTFA Premier Division Reserves competition. A really good game, fast game, played in very good spirit for the vast majority of it, and they just were too strong on the day. And looking through both sides, I'd actually mention, if I was talking best players, Matty, I'd actually mention the Longford back line. I wouldn't necessarily single out players. I thought they played really, really well as a unit. But certainly Sam Graham, was the dominant big man on the ground. They got a lot out of their on-ballers. They got a lot out of the Chugg brothers. I mean, we did remark both on and off air a couple of times. It was almost like they were playing kick to kick there at one stage, didn't it?
Yeah, a lot of football played by both of them as individuals, but also together, and it's amazing how many times it was Chugg to Chugg, and between their key forwards in Chugg and Alexander, they bagged 2 and 3, so 5 goals between them, which is a great return from your key forwards. I thought Alexander was exceptional as well. Not too many winners on the south side of things. I thought big Dodsy, Brad Dodds, stood up as a captain. I thought he was really influential for them. We mentioned how Lee looked dangerous when he got the opportunities, but it didn't happen often because of the work of that back 6 group, or back 7, back 8, however many it is, because often they're always rotating through the bench there by Longford. I thought Geordie Bennett showed a lot in his 100th club game, which is a nice achievement for him to have played 100 club games. But yeah, not too many winners on the south side of things. There were winners all over the ground for Longford, and that's shown in the result.
The thing I noticed probably, Matty, for South was that they had guys that shone out at parts of the game, but they weren't 4-quarter players. So, that's the challenge, isn't it? When you get to the pointy end of the season, you need your 4-quarter players to stand up. So just as we're waiting for the presentations, and Master of Ceremonies, Rick Fontaine, will be hearing from him shortly, but we'll just recount that full-time score. Longford 9:11.65. Premiers over South Launceston 3:7.25.
Thanks very much, everyone. We'll get the presentations underway now for our Reserves Premier Division Grand Final. And firstly, I'd like to invite a representative from our umpiring crew. If one of you would like to come forward, we've got John Birchall from Bogues, our naming rights partner of the NTFA, with a memento for today. So congratulations on yourselves getting grand final appointments. Well done. Good job. Congratulations. Right, we've seen 3 great grand finals so far this afternoon, and unfortunately there's always a winner and there's always a runner-up, but it's been a worthy grand final between the 2 best teams in the NTFA reserves for season 2022. And I'd like to invite South Launceston coach Robert Towns to come forward and say a few words.
To the Longford boys, too good on the day. You've had a fantastic season. You've been the benchmark all year. The 2 years I've been involved with this crew, we've had a great battle, and I look forward to seeing it continue. Well done and enjoy your celebrations. To our boys, you know, it's another tough pill to swallow after last year for those who are involved, but I'm sure we'll bounce back, and I couldn't be any more proud of this group and the footy club that we're involved in. I think the culture itself speaks on its own. You know, there's been a lot of teams compete throughout junior and senior football this year in grand finals, so it's a really good sign of this footy club. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Congratulations to the South Launceston Football Club. Now time to present the medal for the best on ground. And it's a great pleasure to welcome onto the podium now former Premier and great supporter of football in Tasmania and the NTFA, and a former NTFA player himself. Please make welcome the Honourable Peter Gutwin. And the player that's been judged best on ground and the winner of the medal for 2022 from Longford is Sam Graham. Congratulations, Sam. Terrific game. Now time to present our Premiership medallions. And it's a great pleasure to have one of our co-patrons, Errol Stewart, with us to present the Premiership medallions, and John Birchall from Bogues for the Bogues caps. So as I call your number and name, we'd ask the Longford players please to come forward. Firstly, number 1, Sam Gray. Number 3, Jacob Madden. Number 4, Ben Chugg. Number 6, Sam Chugg. Number 7, Jai Lavelle. Number 8, Riley Dabner. Number 10, Jared Lewis. Time to call him up again, number 11, Sam Graham. Number 13, Rocky Barron. Number 18, Baden Alexander. Next up, number 21, Matthew Beachy. Number 22, Charlie Bull. Next up, number 23, Oscar Edwards. Number 24, Daniel Bennett. Number 26, Ben Murfitt. Number 27 is next, Will Edmonds. Number 28, Thomas Dwyer. Number 32 is Aaron Dakin. Number 33, Tom Cox. Number 37, William Dakin. Number 47, Jesse Shepherd. Number 48, Callum Ackers. Number 50, Matthew Davey. And finally, the captain of the Longford Football Club, number 41, Luke Pearton. And the coach, I think he's still out here. He is. Got to get ready for another big game. Dylan Headland.
Just quickly, thank you to South. It's a pretty big rivalry we've built over the last couple of years now. I played in the final last year against you guys, and in my eyes, you're the only team that we had to worry about all year. So take what you've learned from this season. You're a fantastic side, and well done on your season. To our boys, first to the boys that missed out, you're still very much a part of who we are in our club. So I want you to still stick around and be a part of it, please. Next to Pearto and Coxie, captains, thank you for all your help and support throughout the year. Next to Sam Gray, my bench coach. Without him, I definitely couldn't have done anything as well as what I thought I could have without him. So congratulations to our boys and enjoy the win.
Cheers, mate. Good on you. Thanks very much. To Dylan, congratulations to you and your side on premiership success. And I'm going to invite now the NTFA President, Scott Rigby, to come forward with the premiership flag for the Longford Football Club, and I'd ask for their club president, David Archie Blair, to come forward to accept the pennant. And last but not least, it is time now to present the 2022 NTFA Premier Division Reserves Premiership Cup And I'd like to invite Luke to come forward again, please. And also, please make welcome club legend Brendan Jones to present the 2022 Premiership Cup. We'll get you guys up on stage and Brendan to hand it over to the skipper. And we'll invite the Longford boys to come forward. Dylan as well up onto the stage. Our 2022 Premiers, Longford Football Club.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic game. But as we talked about throughout.
Thanks very much to everyone. Our senior teams, they'll be coming out onto the ground in around 10 minutes' time, and the game will be getting underway.
As we touched on through the call, Matty, the universe has a way. The Tigers undefeated throughout the season. Shock defeat in the second semi, comfortable defeat at the hands of South Launceston, but they certainly came here with a point to prove today, and prove it they did, and ran out very, very comfortable winners by 40 points.
And a fantastic omen for the Longford supporters, I feel like, as the seniors were out there warming up, they're getting around their mates, guys that they train with for 8, 10, 12 months in a row. So fantastic reward for effort for the Longford boys, and very thoroughly deserved.
A big thank you to Duff TV for covering the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final and the Premiership won by the Longford Tigers back-to-back. 2021 winners and 2022 winners. And a big thank you to Matthew on special comments today. And we've got it all to look forward to now as we have a little break before we head to the Premier Division Grand Final, where it's the Country Tigers and the City Tigers, Longford and Rochalee doing battle. Rob Soward signing off as Longford await their teammates to come onto the ground. What a great result for them. Back-to-back premiers 2021-2022.
Frustration coming out there.
And that's a really nice mark taken there by Baden Alexander. He's just presented really well all day. And he's going to have this one from just outside 50 when he hits it. But with 14 minutes 40 gone in the last quarter. Longford 8:11.59, South Launceston 3:6.24. We're just playing time out at the moment. It's going to be a celebration for the Tigers. Alexander moves in. He's not going to get the trip. Lots of Bulldogs around it. Oh, it doesn't sit there. Lewis battling away. Dakin, Chug. High free kick to Chug. You just get that pressure around the ball, and you're rewarded for effort, and obviously someone said something there. Frustration from South. 50-metre penalty. Chug's put this one onto Invermay Road as well. It's party time now for the Tigers.
For as long as possible, yeah.
You just get the sense we're really close. Graham with a tap as he's done all day. And there it is! There it is! NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. It's Tiger time! Longford 9:11.65, taking the chocolates over South Launceston 3:7.25. And despite South winning that second semi, Matthew, in very convincing style, I think you'd probably have to say, after an undefeated season, the Longford Tigers deserve to be premiers in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. So 16 wins from 16 matches during the regular season. Big surprise to see that they didn't qualify first to the grand final, that South did, but obviously they've come out with a point to prove here today.